I hope I make some sense. I'm not a specialist in anything. This one's going to be about creation, emanation, religion, metaphysics. Religion, similarly with modern science, is dualistic. And these two, they have this habit of making distinctions, for instance, between ice and water. They say ice and water are different. Metaphysics, on the other hand, realizes that they are one and the same, expressed in a different way. That's just, to put things in perspective. I'm going to read and comment here and there. So, in the Veda, neither the Veda neither asserts a beginning in time nor a creation ex nihilo. Ex nihilo, I wrote here roughly what it means. Creation ex nihilo is a theistic doctrine that says God created the universe, matter, time, and space without any pre existing materials. So it's like a materialistic, goofy idea, I would say. It's very, very, materialistic. Anyway, so the Veda neither asserts a beginning in time nor a creation ex nihilo. In the beginning does not mean at a given time, nor eventfully, but in ever present now. In ever present now, of which empirical experience is impossible, human knowledge being only of the past, and human expectation only of the future. The first in order, primordial, rather than first in time. In the beginning, the world was merely water. That is to say, all the possibilities of existence, not yet existence, but not an impossibility of existence. A true nothing, to be compared to the horns of Hare, or the son of a barren woman. To say that the world was not, that there was no thing, or as in Genesis, that all that was, without form or void, is not to say that nothing was. What was is called pradana, mula, prakrti, the waters, dark and inert, and by many other names. What was not in the world was life, existence, multiplicity, variety, natural beings, and of course the three worlds. So, when it says, without form and void, it is pointing to nothing. It is pointing to the spirit, actually, not precisely not a thing like in material terms, okay? It is pointing to the spirit. The spirit was devoid of form. It was without form and void, It was just spiritual. So, and from spirit came everything, right? What is not phenomena is noumena. That's a thing that scientists have forgotten. Noumena. They don't talk about noumena. It's against their beliefs. So, I'm going to read a quote here from Maester Eckhart. Where is it? God enjoys himself in all things, finding his reflection most delightful. What reflection? You see, the reflection in the water. The reflection in the water is what we call earth, plants, trees, air. That's the reflection. People, animals. It is projected, it's almost like a hologram. And the spirit, or God, or whatever you want to call it, finds that reflection most delightful. So delightful that sometimes it even forgets who he is. Yes, there's doctrines about recollection and resembling or gathering all the pieces of God. You see, God kind of forgot who he was almost. He got lost in this hologram. And in order to come back to his senses, we have to pick up all the pieces and bring them back to the source. There's also another doctrine about that, but it's on a different topic. So this spiritual is not sentient. It's not a sentient thing. Oh man, if it was sentient, I think it would, stop this whole thing like immediately. It's not a sentient thing. And whatever is happening out of necessity. There's nothing that can be done about it. Anyway, if there's any knowledge, is of the past. Expectations are of the future. What is of the present? Wisdom. Wisdom is of the present. Knowledge is of the past, right? When you acquire knowledge, what do? You use wisdom to make decisions. When? In the present. You're not going to use knowledge because knowledge is already in the past. That's something religions and philosophies actually mistaken. Like the Gnostics, they say knowledge is the goal. No, it's wisdom. Wisdom is the goal. You see, they are mistaking things, which happens very often. Religions and sciences, they often, philosophies and whatnot, they mistaken the two selves, the transcendent self and the psychophysical. Knowledge is of the psychophysical. Wisdom is of the transcendent. The transcendent is the forever present. It's of the ever present. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. Have a nice day.